Okay. The Bachelor, season 37, episode 2, Babs' recap. Pretty crazy time, I know. Alright, so lots of stuff happened. Pretty frickin' dramatic. Lots of stuff. So, where we last left off, that girl, Hannah, she had shown up, and her and Peter were talking. And that's immediately where we picked up again with this episode, number 2. So they go off, and they're just talking. And then they're like hugging and getting all up on each other and talking about their feelings and, just icky stuff like that. Really super gross. I don't know how the cameraman can stand to be around it, but that's what they do. That's their job. Gotta make some money somehow. It's hard to do that. So they were just talking, and Peter was like, "Oh, by the way, the Bachelor's name is Peter, not Trevor. I made a pretty big mistake in the last episode, but that's okay. What you gonna do?" So they were just talking, and Peter was like, "What if you came into the house?" And Hannah was like, "I don't know, maybe." And they're like, what we do? And Peter was like, shoot, I can't do this. And they hugged, and she went away. And then he went and he spoke to all the girls that he was on a group date with, and he said, "Sorry, toots, get out of here. I'm gonna go and be sad." That's literally what happened. And they all went back, and they were so pissed. The one girl, Natasha, she was like really snarky about it, and I was like, wow, she's terrible. But Peter seemed to like it. It was strange. A weird guy, super weird guy. So after that happened, they had something in the house or something. It didn't really say where they were. The show's not always good at, defining its space and stuff like that. So, good job, Chris. Go back to school. So they were talking, Peter and these 8 women or so, and he took them all individually, and really so much of this episode was him apologizing. It got old. So he said sorry to all of them. Some were mad, some were very understanding, and that's what happened with that. And so then after that, there came. Oh, I guess actually during that. I think that may have been during that. This one girl who I absolutely. Oh, I hate her with all my heart. She's tall and blonde, and I don't remember her name. And she's mean. She had been given some random bottle of champagne that was not significant. She was given that on her birthday a year ago, and she decided to open it with Peter, and it was this big deal to her for no apparent reason. It's horrible. Such a. Don't like her. And accidentally, Hannah Ann, the girl that we don't like, nobody likes her, she's weird. She had also set up a bottle of champagne in a different area and saw this other girl's bottle and opened that. And then this other girl got so angry. She went over there and started crying and then went away. All this business. So much. And then she started cussing out Hannah Ann later on when Hannah Ann tried to apologize. That actually did change my opinion somewhat of Hannah Ann, seeing her treated so poorly by someone I hate so much. I still don't like her. She's still trash, but she's not the worst one on the show, and that's something. So that's what happened there. Good stuff, fine stuff. It all happened, and then the night ended. Honestly, it was a lot of talk about the bottle of champagne. Way too much attention given to it, if you ask me. But oh well. And so then the next day, Peter took 8 women or so to a fashion show place, and I guess Revolve is a brand. I don't know, man. I don't know. But there were famous people in there also. And all the girls had to choose two outfits and they had to like walk on the runway. And Peter also walked on the runway. And do you know what he did? He put two jackets over what he was already wearing. I wasn't impressed. I don't think anyone was impressed. So then all of the women did their thing and they walked in. Victoria F, the one with the crazy eyes. She was so stressed out, but she's my favorite. Absolutely. My favorite. And she did really, really well when she was like walking down the runway and she said she blacked out and didn't really know what was happening. And so she did really, really well. And then Hannah Ann apparently did really, really well. I don't know what that was about. So they had to do like a face off or something like that. And then Hannah Ann did better. It was obvious and it was sad. And so Hannah Ann won, and Victoria F was so sad and almost quit. And that was the majority of that. Then they all went back home and they had some individual time with Peter again. And so what happened there was that Victoria F was like, "Hey man, I don't this all really stressed me out and stuff, and I don't know, maybe I think you're dope. I think you're tops. 10 out of 10, but like maybe it's not worth my mental health." And then so Peter took her off to the side and said, "Let me get you some privacy." It's interesting because we still heard everything they said, but Peter was just like, "I really like you and I want you to stay." And Victoria F was like, okay, okay. And it kind of seemed like that was what she needed to hear, that he cared about her at all. So that was nice. That was nice. And then Hannah Ann told Peter that the other girl had been bullying her the night before. And so Peter was like, "Well, I don't like that. That's not okay." So then he talked to the other girl, and the other girl was like, "No, I was mean, but it wasn't bullying." And so that was kind of just like, "Well, if you were mean." Yum, 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 yum. So then he said he didn't know what to do, didn't know what to do. And then it showed us some clips of what I suppose is going to happen at the end of the season. And it was all this stuff, all this stuff. And yeah, no, I don't know. Really excited for the show. Such a good, positive show. So it's super important, good business, really, really. Yeah.